All right, welcome to episode 148 of Ring Takes here. We're going to be following up with Backlash that took place this weekend. Big matches that happened on that card, and we potentially have a legend walking away from WWE, it looks like, but we'll get into that in a moment. Stay with us.
One, two, oh my God, so close. He kicked out. He kicked out. He kicked.
All right, we are here. Episode 148 of Ring Takes here, looking at Backlash and potentially Asuka's farewell with Brian and Lewis. I'm Daniel, Ring Takes. We are joined by pro wrestling veteran Sonny, the Man Eagle Kane, co-host of Wrestling Spotlight. Thank you for joining us as always, Sonny. Backlash happened this weekend, a lot of stuff going on. A big title opportunity for Jacob Fatu. That's where I want to lead the conversation with. This was a clash among titans between these two. Jacob Fatu getting really his first world heavyweight title opportunity. Going up against Roman Reigns. This has been building over the past couple weeks. It happened it happened fast as hell. These PLEs are fast behind each other. So not much build, but a lot of stuff going on in this matchup. I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna go to Lewis. Lewis, what did you think about this matchup between Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns? Jacob getting his first opportunity at a world title.
I thought it was great. Jacob looks like a main event player. He looks great. His style, everything, his presentation, I thought was great. Funny enough, and it's funny to even think that I guess Roman does look a little bit older, but, it's funny that him calling him, little cousin or whatever and all that stuff, but he looks great in this main event spot. He definitely looks like he belongs. I was surprised by the finish, that it was not clean, but in the sense, the turnbuckle got ripped off and everything that kind of cost him the match. But I did like the attack after. Just shows like Jacob's like power and everything. And again, even though he lost, still making him look strong. I think that's the most important thing right now. I am a little surprised that he has basically attacked like all the people in the back and it's just like not even being addressed, or I guess it was kind of addressed a
Adam
little bit
Pearce
on
getting
Monday.
thrown out the ring.
Exactly, like 2-3 times, and I'm like, no fines, no fired or whatever. But I guess they kind of talked about that a little bit on Raw. But other than that, again, Jacob looked great. I think we all kind of called it that no title change was probably going to happen at Backlash. Would have been very shocking if it did, but I was also a little surprised that the Usos didn't get involved, which I'm fine with. I actually like more the the
Clean
one on
finish.
one, but I think it would have added for once. I think it would have added a little more story if the Usos did get involved. I guess I don't really know what kind of angle, but again, Jacob looked great. I thought the match was great, very physical. Roman is I think he is starting to look his age a little bit. I think, at least compared to Jacob, Jacob literally, high energy, kept going. I know Roman does great work, but I think he's starting to show his age a little bit too. But other than that, I thought it was a great match.
We can go to Sonny. Sonny, what did you think about the match
I'm
between
used to
Jacob
going to
Fatu and
Brian.
Roman?
But anyway,
No, I'll send it to you.
um, I thought it was a great match. I think Jacob needs to learn to center his energy at this point in time. That's just going to take some more rivaling and getting used to main eventing. Main eventing is a whole different concept. It's not like anything else in wrestling because that's the fever pitch of everything. What I see in this situation is I see a senior veteran wrestler in Roman Reigns bringing out the best in Jacob and putting Jacob over as the heel, the same that I saw in Sami Zayn and Trick Williams. That's the way I look at it. I try to look at these things for what they are. And Sami Zayn, I saw on social media today, is questioning his heel turn involvement in WWE and why it actually has happened to him, and I think it's high time that that's been addressed, and maybe we'll get a live address of that on there even.
Hmm.
That'd be different, a different take on it from coming out of Sammy. When you first meet up with somebody in the main event type situation, you're just all over the place, and that's typical of any newcomer to the main event show.
Hmm.
And Jacob just has to learn to get his fire and energy more under control and pace himself throughout the match. If he doesn't, Roman's going to kill him. And that's the bottom line because Roman knows how to pace himself, and that's throughout a 45 to 50-minute match, however long it goes. Jacob has the power moves down. He's got the quick finishes down. I think at some point a match between he and Double Fleming would be a kill match to see who could outlast who, since they both have the same grappling style, hardcoreness about themselves at this point. I think Jacob is worthy of a championship title around his waist at some point. I don't think now is the time, but I think he needs to. But I do think he could stand to be schooled a little while longer. I say 6 months to a year from now, gold could be put around his waist by Roman happily, and I think that's been Roman's point throughout this. It's a time proven thing. It's not a quick overnight, just I'm going to hand you the title, you're going to have to earn it and come get me.
Hmm.
And eventually Roman may run out of a little bit of that gas he keeps talking about having so much of. So guess we'll see.
Thoughts, Brian?
So, do you guys remember Jacob Fatu's first match on the main roster? It was a PLE. It was a 6-man tag. I think it was at Money in the Bank. I forget who the other competitors were involved, but I remember the match started off with him and Randy Orton in the ring. And Randy Orton gave him one of his signature DDTs, and Jacob just like popped up after. And it was the first time that you had ever seen that. And when Randy Orton turned around, typically to get in his stance to hit the RKO, he looked at him and he kind of had that look in his eye of like, oh, this guy is different. And I bring that up just to say that ever since Jacob Fatu cut that first promo on Monday Night Raw saying he wanted the title, his booking from now until this past Monday has been damn near perfect. They have literally turned this guy into a legitimate like monster.
Yeah.
And it's all, and we all predicted that this would happen. We all thought that once he broke away from Solo and that Bloodline storyline, that once he got out on his own, that what we're seeing now is what you were gonna get. As a character, he's a lot more menacing now. He's a lot more crazy. We're taking him a lot more seriously than we did when he was feuding with Solo this past summer.
Yep.
And now he's a legit man. Have a Roman Reigns was a these two guys. I mean, the family connection is there because pacing wise, timing wise, violence in the action that we saw. That was a tremendous main event. To Lewis, you brought up the Usos not getting involved. I love that aspect. We had 4 years of Roman Reigns with the Bloodline getting involved, and I feel as though moving forward, as long as he's world champion, we don't need the shenanigans with his main event matches anymore. And I think I think they're trying to make up for it in that sense. But like I said, it was a tremendous main event. I love what they're doing with Jacob right now. Especially, we're gonna get into what he did on Monday Night Raw, but he's a legit main eventer right now. And moving forward, I'm only going to be more intrigued moving forward at how the story is gonna play out. Do I think he should be the one to dethrone Roman? I don't know. I don't know about that. But if his character work is going to continue at this rate, then it might be a consideration.
Yeah, it was a very impressive debut in the main event scene for Jacob Fatu. You brought up his Money in the Bank match. I believe that was 2024. That was Randy Orton Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, Miss Kevin Owens, when Jacob took that DDT from Randy Orton, and we've seen the growth from there because I was kind of concerned with the growth of Jacob Fatu because of that whole Solo Sokoa feud and over into IC title and how things ended at SummerSlam that year. But to see him continue to find his character and find his development in the ring, find his impact in the ring, and to hit it at this level and this speed against Roman Reigns, I think it was a great match between these two. You got Roman really selling for Jacob Fatu as a serious monster against these two and really putting him over in terms of being this guy that's a legitimate threat. We've seen it. They've been teasing this ever since Jacob came to the main roster of Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns kind of looking at each other, Roman not being as direct towards Jacob, kind of fearing him in their promos backstage and stuff like that. And to get an impactful match like this between these two where Roman got hurt a little bit and Jacob was taking the offense and taking it to Roman Reigns, he's a legitimate threat for this world title. And I think he proved it. When you get guys in the main event scene, it's very unknown, but you want to see them do well in the match, right? You don't want it to be a drag or anything like that. I didn't get that from this match. I thought Jacob did a tremendous job. I think Roman did a good job playing the role he did in the match. As you guys speak for the Usos, I think the Usos are going to get involved at some point because it does seem like Jacob has Roman's number, right? Like he won by the skin of his teeth against Jacob. It wasn't like he put him down for good and it was all over. He got by the skin of his teeth, and I think at some point when it gets closer and closer, he might use the Usos to help him win the match and kind of solidify maybe this heel turn because Roman's kind of a tweener right now. Even after this WrestleMania 42 matchup with CM Punk, we're going to get more development in Roman's character going forward because we're going to see what like he's stand up on his own in that match, but how many times can he do that?
I'd like to say, I don't think it's going to be the same Roman Reigns that held the title for 4 years because we're seeing a more meadow out. This is the way I'd like the family to be version of Roman Reigns. He's even thrown out olive branches to Solo and to his gang and saying, let's come back to the table and let's talk some more and let's stop this inner bickering at this point and see if we can negotiate our differences out. I mean, they've had these talks on there a couple of times already, and it's just a better spin on it than it was during the 4-year reign. So, and I don't think and not to insult the fanfare of today, I don't think they have the attention span that they had during that time period to appreciate a 4-year run now like they did then is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I think we're into much shorter runs at this point, and that's the vibe I'm getting from social media posts of fans on there.
It seems like that we're heading in that direction, but I always go back to what Paul Heyman said when he talked about the Bloodline storyline all those years ago, saying how we're only in the third inning of this thing. Yeah. It's like, I guess we're in inning number 7. We're in the home stretch of this thing because Roman's getting older.
I don't think Paul Heyman's done with it by no means. I think he's just sort of taking a breather.
Yeah, we can see him get back into it, but it's good. I think it's good that they're doing these change-ups, right? Like Jacob's getting the opportunity. The Usos are coming back, but in a different capacity, going after the Vision and stuff like that. There's a little twist on it a little bit. I hope they continue to go down that road. But we'll see what happens. I thought it was a great main event. I thought it was a great opportunity for Jacob Fatu, and I thought he knocked it out the park to cement himself as that top tier guy because we didn't want to see him in the mid card anymore and trying to go after the Bloodline story. This seems like it's a main event feud that's legitimate. So kudos to all involved. Roman walking away with the title. Let's keep moving on. Let's move on to the opener of the night. Braun Breaker taking on Seth Rollins in a hard-hitting matchup. We've been waiting for this matchup since the turn last November when they kicked Seth out of the group. And it finally came to fruition here at Backlash 2026. And I'll toss it to you, Brian. What did you think about this match here between these two rivals, young versus old? What did you make of this matchup?
they say styles makes fights. You saw the power of Braun Breaker along with the speed and cunningness of Seth Rollins. One of my favorite spots in the match was when Seth Rollins went for his typical, superplex into the Falcon Arrow, but then Braun Breaker reversed it, and then he hit his Falcon Arrow. I like that spot. Another spot that kind of social media went crazy about. Obviously, Seth Rollins' little mishap during the match, but they covered up for it very well because you almost forget how much of an athletic freak Braun Breaker is because when he hit that standing moonsault, I had to remind myself. I'm like, oh yeah. This is stuff he was doing in NXT. So that's how much of a tremendous athlete he is with the Frankensteiners and the moonsaults and all of that stuff. He is one hell of an athlete. And, and like I said, it was a solid opener. Both guys put it all out there. Kudos to Braun Breaker for coming out on top, but it definitely you saw on Monday Night Raw that this story is gonna continue on. But it was a great way to start the show. It was very smart of them to have this be the match that was featured on ESPN because you knew what you were going to get as far as the differences in style between both guys. So it was a great way to start the show.
I'll toss it to you, Sonny. What did you think about this matchup between Braun Breaker and Seth? You picked Seth. You're the only guy to pick Seth on this one.
I think it was a fantastic battle between the two. I think what the company's leaning toward now is they're trying to make the younger talent the face of the company today instead of tomorrow. But I like Seth. I don't think this is the end of Seth Rollins by no means. Maybe he comes back at the bottom of the ninth or something with something that nobody has seen, has been able to foresee. But and as you drive a stake in Seth Rollins' heart, that's the only way you're going to get rid of him. So he's just there, sort of, and you have to deal with him. I thought it bought Braun Breaker out for the athlete that he is instead of the bus man type image that he's been being. And it's just a matter of him getting into more fight bouts like that where he can show his athleticism. He may even outgrow Paul Heyman's services at some point and stand completely on his own. And that's not really been done in that storytelling group yet to where an athlete has done that on that level at this point. But I can see it happening with him. And it's got to be a lot of weight on his shoulders, too, to have so much expected of him. And then to hear that his entire life, and I wonder how much of his career he's enjoyed versus it was expected of him. So that's something I would ask him in the off-camera interview someplace someday. But have you really enjoyed the ride, or was this?
Yep. That's expected when you're a third generation superstar, right? Like you have the expectations
Well,
of
I was
everybody.
second. People were telling me not to do it, but I don't listen sometimes.
Yeah, you have the expectations of the wrestlers that became before you and what they did in the ring and stuff like that. So definitely, that's a definitely interesting question. I guess Randy Orton can be asked that question as well. As a person who has a lineage as well, Cody Rhodes, like they've all talked about carrying that torch from their family and stuff like that. And for me, Braun Breaker, he hasn't missed. He hasn't missed.
And he's better on interviews this year than it was last year.
Yeah,
so
you see some improvement and some development
Paul's
from that.
really got to be wondering how much longer he'll have him because of that, because he seems to be having more breakout moments each time he's near a ring. So that would be my point of focus with him would be to pull him back and not let him be so out there like he's been the past 2 or 3 times he's been in front of the camera, because that he's going to outgrow him. I'm telling you, and that's going to be the first breakaway guy.
Yep. Lewis, what did you think about this match between these two guys?
I thought it was great. Again, another kind of like the Roman Jacob match. I mean, They're making Braun Breaker look like a monster. I think we all like Dan said, like, we all kind of picked it besides Sonny, but like, the next generation is coming up right now. They got to do what they can to get people invested in these guys because obviously they've put their money and time into these guys. So it's like we can't have all this young talent just coming up and losing off rip. Yes, they're gonna get their losses. I mean, we already saw Braun, have his own little run, when he got the IC title and stuff, but, that was also cut a little bit short, but still made him look good. I think now with the group setting, him as the leader, quote unquote, is looking good. I mean, obviously the vision came out, it helped him out. I think Seth is still. It is true, and I think I'm even guilty of it. Seth is very unappreciated sometimes. I think also because he's had so many title runs, he's done everything in WWE, but he's still definitely a constant pillar that's there to enhance talent, put him over, and also still keep himself in the main event scene. I kind of like what I like this whole everybody's kind of throwing his history into him. They're like, hey, you got no friends. You betrayed everybody. Why would anybody at this point in this day and age trust you? So I like kind of how they're going down this pit of like, well, I guess finally Seth's, on his own, and it shows, and it's kind of knocking him down a peg because he's losing against the Vision. This is the group that he created, so it's like. I'm intrigued to see where they're gonna go with this with the Street Profits. I don't know if it's gonna be another group or if it's just gonna be some makeshift thing just to like go after the Vision. But I'm really interested to see where it's gonna go. Again, Braun Breaker looks amazing, deserve the win, and I'm really interested to see where they're gonna go. I hope it's not just another 6-man, like whatever the next PLE is. And that's what we're gonna get. Like, let's get him. I know he's probably not going after. He's not gonna be going after Roman anytime soon. But it's like, how much longer are we just gonna have him and Seth go back and forth? Even though, look, he just got the win. What's the point of even fighting him again? But we already know it's gonna happen. So,
yeah, for sure. I thought the match was great. Braun Breaker. They're kind of telling that story of the old dog versus the new dog. With Braun Breaker, kind of like what we saw with that WrestleMania 42 between Roman and CM Punk, right? Like, how much does he have in the tank and stuff like that, and how can Braun offset that experience and tactical ability of Seth Rollins? He does it with his power and strength. He runs right through Seth Rollins. He wears him down. He keeps him down. And that's the story they were really telling in this match. Seth, as you said, Lewis, I think he's one of the. He doesn't get enough credit. Like, he's definitely underappreciated in how he wrestles and how he goes and stuff like that. Like, he's phenomenal on the mic. He has the crowd in his hand. He still has the same song. Like, people are still singing his song to this day. So it's like, that's how much credibility he adds to the product. And for a guy like Braun Breaker, who is a person that needs wins, right? He's been destroying people, but he needs a real signature win that puts him above in this situation. I think this match did that for him. Picking up the win as he did, the Vision keeping him in, because I think we questioned before last week and stuff like that, like, where's the Vision and all this stuff, like how they really interact and stuff like that. And we've been seen on Monday Night Raw, like, they're actually a unit still and still being utilized. So that's the thing, like, okay, we're seeing Braun be the leader of this. So I think that's good for a young star to get a group underneath him like that. And to help him out, like, he's a heel. This is what is supposed to happen. Like, they're supposed to help him win these big time moments. But I thought it was a great match before the interference. I don't think the interference did any disservice to the match, but I think it just speaks to now we're going to see what happens with Seth Rollins, right? Because as we alluded to on Raw and stuff like that, who's going to help him and stuff like that. We've seen Montez Ford look at him and be like, yo, I want nothing to do with you. We both said stay out of our way. We don't have to do this. So I think that's a good thing to see the Street Profits in that fold, and maybe they're going to help him, maybe not. But I think it's going to get interesting going forward to see what happens in this feud, because it's not over. Seth Rollins, like, that was a one-match thing, and we got to see what happens down the road between these two. Go ahead, Sonny.
My thing with the whole Seth Rollins moment at this point in time is he brought out all these masked men and unveiled them, and that was more than fine.
Hmm.
But my thing is that the end of it, or is he going to at some point reunite them and say, "I got
That's
you"?
been done.
I think the
That's
way
been
I think
done.
the way they did it on Raw and stuff like that, and they followed up with it. I don't think we need that again. The Masked Man, it served its purpose. I don't want to see the Masked Man
Yeah.
again.
I don't think
WWE
that was
has
But this
good.
used it.
time, I think what you would have is them come as unmasked and say, "We're here, we're there, we're all
Mhm,
over." And
Yeah.
these are the circles that we've been running in when you all thought we were actually with you.
mhm.
We're
But
actually here for Seth.
I think there's too
And
much
boom.
opportunity with the way they're going with the Street Profits getting involved. The Usos are potentially still involved. I think there's different avenues they can go with. The Masked Man, I think it served its purpose for
Yeah.
what
Yeah, I
it
was
did
just
and what it set up the story and stuff like that for his when Seth was away, but he's back now.
And
Um,
plus, he came out with like 20 people. I think that's too many for one faction.
yeah, I was just gonna say the
hey,
masked men were used as a way to just to bring Seth Rollins back when there was that
mhm,
mystery of
hey,
we knew it was Seth Rollins, but they wanted to play that mystery of
yeah,
who's behind the
at
mask.
one point, at
Well,
one
I said
point,
that forever on Wrestling Spotlight that I thought
mhm.
that's who it was. So.
on in WCW with the NWO. At one point, there were 20 people in a group, so it's not impossible.
Yeah.
It's not impossible, but
Then it's just a
mm.
takeover at that point, basically.
Oh man, we don't need that. But let's keep moving on here. Big win for Braun Breaker. I thought it was a good win for him. We'll see what happens with these two. Let's keep moving on to our first title match of the night. Trick Williams taking on Sami Zayn. Um, what did you make of this one, Sonny? Trick Williams picking up the win over Sami Zayn. What did you make of this one? Mhm.
Happy for Trick Williams. Don't understand the turn of events that appear to keep happening to Sami Zayn. Once again, we see him on a downward spiral. Not understanding where creatives are going with that, or Triple H, whoever, whatever the case may be, as the head creative. I did catch a blip that the total creative control is Triple H now at this point. The TKO has given the ball back to H. So if they have Cadules, maybe he could go in there and fix the problem of these unsolved stories like the Masked Man and the Gingerbread Man and whoever and whatever. I'm just saying instead of throwing stories on us and not finish them, finish the darn things and let us move on together.
Mhm.
Uh, and I get when Sami Zayn supposedly turned heel with his one little kick to the Gingerbread Man, but before then, when did he turn heel? He just literally walked out to the into the ring one night, and suddenly he was a heel that night. I'm not understanding the whole story, but what I'm seeing there is I'm seeing the senior wrestling veteran in Sami Zayn uh, helping to skyrocket an up and coming talent like Trick Williams, who's going to be another rock in WWE. Not since Dwayne the Rock Johnson have we seen anyone who can captivate a crowd like Trick Williams, and it's more than Hoop That Trick. It's more than the white coat. He had his deal on in NXT and before he got to NXT, and he's maintained it throughout his signature run in WWE, and he's just going to keep going. You know, the title may come back to Sammy for a while. They may just pass it back and forth. But I'd like to see Tammy shoot for a world title. Sammy shoot for a world title at this point in
Mhm.
time, and get out of this passing the ball back and forth. Trick's where he needs to be now. So let's focus on Sammy and positioning him. Sammy and Bailey have a lot in common, in my opinion. They both have this head story going on, but nobody seems to be doing anything to rectify it. Let's get it rectified, iron it out, and then I'll move on. So that's what I've got to say.
Let's go, Lewis. Lewis, what do you think about this matchup between these two?
Definitely a great match. A lot of back and forth with Sammy and Trick. I'm not gonna lie, there were a couple of times I actually thought Sammy was gonna pick up the win.
Yeah.
But like I said before, it's a new wave of talent. It's also the PLE right after WrestleMania. There's not going to be no huge title changes. There's not going to be any big surprises. I really hope this whole gingerbread man thing is kind of done and dead with. I didn't really watch it fully,
I hope it's over with.
but watching the whole promo thing, I was like, come on, do we really need to be doing like funerals for the gingerbread? And like, I
Yeah.
get it, you got little Yachty.
That to me is
all
as
that
bad
stuff.
as the Bassman is to y'all.
Yeah, yeah. So
It was bad.
yeah. And I'm surprised that they like
Sorry.
even like reports about people not being happy with that kind of story, especially the same age. But as far as the match went, I thought again Trick looked great. He does great with the crowds. Again, I've always been a huge Sami Zayn fan, but I really starting to believe that the ship has sailed on him ever becoming a world champion. I feel like he's kind of falling into that Dolph Ziggler status. I mean, Larry Ziggler won the title, but
Yeah.
never got back there.
Mid card hell.
So I don't know, and I don't know. I feel like this feud kind of should be done. They've not exchanged the title back and forth, but Sammy won the title and then he lost it. And now he just got another chance.
He's 0-2.
He loses again. Yeah, I don't think he should. I don't think he should be going after the U.S. title anymore. I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be very curious to see who's gonna go after Trick next. Hopefully it's Carmelo Hayes. Please give me Carmelo Hayes. I need him back on TV, and I think that will be a great feud, especially going to the next PLE. So yeah.
Yes, hopefully. Brian?
All right, well, Lewis, you hit the nail on the head as far as to why Sami Zayn has been portrayed in the way that he's been portrayed. I know some of us on this panel feel as though that heel turn came out of nowhere, or you're asking the question of what exactly did Sami do? But realistically, what happened is just that whenever you set a goal for yourself and it's been 5 years and the goal has yet to be accomplished, people are just going to look at you with raised eyebrows now and just say like, are you actually going to do it? Are they actually going to pull the trigger? And then on top of that, when you actually had that opportunity amongst your people in Saudi Arabia and then you lost, a lot of people are looking at it saying, well, if he's gonna win, those are the circumstances where it was ideal for him to win, and he didn't win, and it's been 4 or 5 years now. So now it's just okay. He's never gonna do it. So now he just sounds like you said, Louis. Now he's in Dolph Ziggler territory, that mid card hell where he's never gonna break that glass ceiling. So I think all of that plays a role into the reactions that he's getting right now. And also on top of it, Trick Williams, he's still firing on all cylinders. The match that they had at Backlash was very good, was very solid. The gingerbread man aspect of it, I'm with you, Sonny. I mean, it's completely atrocious to me. The fact that main evented SmackDown, I literally think that WWE Creative was just sitting there thinking to themselves, well, at the end of the day, we're making all this money. Are we really going to lose fans? I mean, the most vocal fans are going to be watching Backlash anyway. So realistically, we could just throw it out there and people will bitch and complain, but the same people bitching and complaining are going to watch the show anyway. So let's just throw it out. Let's just throw it out there. If they open the show, okay. Middle of the show, okay. But the main event, the main event of SmackDown with that nonsense.
Going into a PLE. Going into a PLE.
Idea they had with Pat McAfee when they yanked in Pat McAfee. Someone said, "Well, we got 45 minutes here. What can we do?" I know Pat McAfee can come out and talk. Lord Hammers.
But their match was solid, and like Lewis said, at this point in time, I really hope that we're kind of getting away from the whole Trick and Sammy aspect now. Maybe we can redirect Sami Zayn now that he's a heel. But yeah, we need Carmelo Hayes back right now. The Trick and Carmelo story, it tells itself. You got the history from NXT that you could tell that story to the audience, for the fans that didn't watch NXT. It's right there for you. We need Carmelo back. was on X earlier, and he had posted up a tweet. I think his tweet was that waiting to appear, or waiting to make my reappearance, or something along those lines. So he's literally waiting for creative to call him in and be like let's go. So it's right there, WWE.
I don't know.
Hey, but we also know what they do when it comes to stories that are so easy to tell. Randy Cody.
It's like pulling teeth. It's like pulling teeth to get a good story.
Fans that didn't watch NXT, all it takes is one simple 5 to 10 minute video package, and it'll be very straightforward. That's all you.
Let's say both these guys. All right, I'll get into that after I give my analysis of this match. One, I thought it was Trick Williams' best match on the main roster. I thought this was way better than a WrestleMania 42 matchup between the two. As Lewis alluded to, I think there was a couple times where I thought Sami was going to win. Like, hey, they're actually going to do this. Him overcoming Little Yachty, you know what I mean, and getting the advantage over him and stuff with the Huluva kick outside the ring and stuff like that. I'm like, is he going to turn around and win this thing? Trick Williams ended up prevailing. I think Trick Williams, again, I always go back to his TNA run in NXT. I really thought that set him up to get better ring work in terms of match quality and style and pacing and stuff like that. I thought that him working with guys like Santana and stuff like that and the guys from TNA really kind of set him up for the main roster. And I think I questioned that when he went there. I was like, I thought this was a waste of time. I thought he should have just been called up. But I think that's paying dividends for stuff like this in this match here. I think Sami always puts on a good match. I don't think he has any bad matches or anything like that. Even as this pseudo heel that he's playing right now, it's interesting to see the development of his storyline, because I think we've seen people lose before and then they get a world title opportunity. So if WWE does need a challenger, I think he can step up in that role. It's just how they tell that story. As for Trick Williams, I'm with you guys. I want to see him move on to different things. It was cool doing the gingerbread thing. It was a laugh, right? It was a gag moment and stuff like that. Trick Williams has done that in NXT, dropping disc records, and he even dropped a disc record on Sami Zayn on this one. Yeah. Pete Dunne was his guy in NXT and stuff like that. We've seen this before from him. So it's going to be there's more to the bone with Trick Williams than that stuff. I hope they get into that. I hope they lean towards Carmelo Hayes and him, because I think that's a feud that can be carried out throughout the summer. And they can really lay their teeth into it, because I think both these guys can talk. We can take one promo, one video package, as Brian said, and you can really just set it up. And Little Yachty has not been a disservice to the storyline, I feel like he's kind of added to it in a little bit, where he's already done more for me than Travis Scott. You know what I mean? Like,
at least he shows up, right?
He is the definition of how you use a celebrity properly.
Yes.
He enhances the aura of another character. Yes. That's how you use a celebrity.
And I was a little worried. I think everybody was a little worried, like, not another celebrity. But he doesn't do too much. He doesn't do too little. It's just right.
He does enough.
It's just right. You know what I mean? Doesn't oversaturate it. He doesn't get in the way and stuff like that. Maybe going forward, maybe he will. But as of right now, he's playing the perfect role. I actually like his role in this. I think it adds to the star power of Trick Williams. I hope it continues with those two at least. And there's a lot of challengers. We talk about Carmelo Hayes. We talk about Ilya Dragunov. Aleister Black probably would have been a guy if he didn't get released and stuff like that. So
all the way.
So there's options on SmackDown. I hope going forward.
Last week, Aleister Black was still renegotiating his deal, so I don't know if that fell through or if that's still ongoing.
We'll see if he returns anytime soon, but. With the direction of SmackDown, I think they're going to go back to 2 hours at some point. I'm not sure when that's going to happen, but I hope they find time enough to continue to build this mid card, right? Like you have the guy that you want the title on, who the eyes are going to be on with Trick Williams. You got the people singing the song, hit while the iron is hot, to build this roster up, not just for him, to set him up for the main event level, but to set up other people to carry the mid-card title, give them some direction, whatever it is. Like, you have the players involved. Make it happen with these guys. That's the first and foremost. I guess I should take this one and go first. The Miz and Kit Wilson taking on Danhausen and his secret partner, Minniehausen. Minihausen. I oh man, I and I couldn't even think of anybody that would have been his tag team partner. I know there was rumors about Jelly Roll and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't want
No.
that. This is where I think Danhausen is being overused and overexposed, right? In terms of this comedy gimmick, like he's doing his best. Like, I'm not going to say it's a total failure because he's funny. I'm not going to lie. He's funny. He has his moments and stuff like that. I love the whole "you are" curse thing. I love that. That's funny and stuff like that, but this whole thing with him actually having matches to this degree, and I know the Miz has always been a comedy star and stuff like that, but it's just like, did we need this on a PLE? That's mine. That's the first thing I go.
Why
I think
not?
I
Why
think
not?
Minihausen was played by El Torito, who used
Was
to be
it?
with
I think it breaks humor to a serious
I think it
card. I
was.
mean, I don't see the harm in it.
Shit.
What,
Who was
what's the
that?
harm?
What was that tag team? Why can't I
Oh,
remember?
Los
It waters
Matadores.
it down
Los
just a
Los
Matadores,
little
Matadores.
So you see that with them, and I'm just like, okay, he got back in the fold. I know he's in AAA and stuff like that, I believe. So there's that partnership still working and stuff like that. But I'm just like, is this needed on the PLE? And I know Kit Wilson's getting under his feet wet on the main roster. You pair him with the Miz, and that's supposed to work and stuff like that. But it's like, I don't know if that's helping anybody. Like, I
I
don't
got a
know.
prediction. I think Dan Houser and the Miz end up tag teaming.
That would be something, and I think that would be a funny direction that they go in, because it would be something like Miz is.
I think the Miz comes around and sees the light.
I think the Miz could do that and possibly be like, I don't want to be cursed anymore, so tag
Yeah.
team with me. I'll bring you around and stuff like that. Yeah, I can definitely see
What
that
have I got to
happening.
do to get out from
Yeah,
this?
yeah. um, but what did you guys think of this matchup, Brian? What did you think about this matchup here? I don't even know what to make. This shouldn't have been on a PLE, but go ahead, Brian.
Thank God a couple of days have gone by, and this is another example of thank God a couple of days have gone by and we didn't react to this the night of, because if we had, I would have shitted all over this from left to right. But now that a couple of days have gone by, I kind of have a cooler mind to it. I mean, it was what it was. I agree with you, Daniel. This is not his strength. This is not what makes Danhausen Danhausen. They are kind of overexposing him by putting him into the ring, because his in-ring ability was never his strength. His character work is. That's the reason why, merchandise wise, he's top 3 or top 5 in the company right now. I mean, he might even be number 1, because I saw on social media. I think they showed on the pre-show, like they had like, I guess, a stand set up like kind of like a tailgate thing, and people were getting their faces painted like Danhausen. There was a whole Danhausen face painting thing. Character wise, he's doing well, but you are going to overexpose him when you put him in the ring like this, because it's not his strength. It's character work, being able to be a great comedy character, fooling people. That's what that's the best of Danhausen, and I can only hope that. If you are, well, I'll say this: if you are going to use him in the ring, it should be like maybe only at the big shows, once in the blue moon. Like, now we've seen him. Now, realistically, we shouldn't see Danhausen in the ring for the rest of the year, or at least at a SummerSlam or something like that.
Yeah,
we definitely shouldn't be seeing him in the ring like next week or anything like that. And the Echo,
guess what?
Yeah.
He's going to be there. He's going to be there.
As far as
He's surely gonna be on Wrestling Spotlight. I promise.
well, as far as like
He's our poster boy.
You mentioned Kit Wilson. I mean, me personally, I'm just waiting for Elton Prince to come back so they can be pretty deadly again. That way we can, as a tag team, because as a tag team, he's a tag team guy. Kit Wilson. I mean, I know they've been trying with the gimmick and the theme music and everything, but he's a better tag team wrestler than me. And I'm just waiting for Elton Prince to come back and they can actually be that.
What was his injury?
I think it was a neck injury.
I think it's a neck injury.
It's a broken neck.
If he's actually going to come back or not.
Yeah, damn.
That's what I remember.
Yeah, but like I said, I mean, it was what it was. As far as his partner being a miniature wrestler, I mean, if it had been CM Punk or somebody more serious, people would have crapped on it because it's like, how you going to put CM Punk in this spot? If it's
What's it taking out to throw some moment, Brian?
like, in a way, the midget wrestler was the right way to go. That's why I'm saying I'm glad a couple of days have gone by where I could think about this because because at first in my mind, I was like, why didn't you get a bigger name? But if you had gotten a bigger name, people would have been pissed off because the bigger name is relegated to that spot. So a good thing they went that route of kind of making it comedy and putting a miniature wrestler in there. And I did think it was kind of funny how Kit Wilson put him in the cloning machine and then all of them ran out and jumped him. That was kind of funny when you
It's like it had its moments. Thoughts on Sonny, this match between again, I don't think this should have been on a PLE, but what did you think about it for Sonny?
I think it is. I'm going to get booed for this, but I don't care. I could take it. I think he is. Danhausen is as misdone as Jay Cargill was when she was doing her deal. I don't think creatives have served either one of them well here. I think they brought Dan in, were stunned by the crowd's reaction to Dan, didn't know how to handle his fire or his aura, have thrown him into main event type situations way too soon. Now he's there. They don't know how to use him exactly. And we're having to watch it unfold before our eyes week in and week out. He can compete at that level, but they're not letting him have any real tag team partners. He's trying to coerce the Mitts into coming on his side. That's funnier than hell. The Mitts' reaction to it's funnier than hell. So you've got two things going on at the same time. Where the kids tried to stop the Mitts. That's funny, and it's just it's a break in the tension of the seriousness of it, and I get it. I took an old drama and performing arts at the University of Mount Olive before going to a 2-year technical college. But anyway, it's just funny to see him go at it. But I think they are overshooting Danhausen right now. I think we need to scale back, get Dan into some good single matches, and let's see what he can do. And Dan can go, man. I'm telling you, Danhausen can rock.
You want to know what this is? This is like James Ellsworth when he came in. Yes, it is.
No.
Yes, it is. They put James Ellsworth in mad main event matches.
Keep going. I'm not stopping.
And he should have never been there. And we get it. We got the story. He was on Team Smackdown at Survivor
Well,
Series.
Dan can make it there. They just need to build him up to that more, is all I'm saying.
I think, again, this is WWE with these goofy characters. They have to, well, not even goofy. I can't say goofy. I got to say, like,
It's
kooky characters like The Fiend.
Abstract would be a good word.
They have to temper how much they use them, because I do feel like he's overexposed right now, and I think the backstage segments is something that they can do, or he costs people matches and stuff like that. I think that's the right trajectory.
That's really funny way to
putting him in these matches that are longer than 5 minutes. I just don't think that's the way to go with it. But what do you think about this one, Lewis? Mm-hmm.
Agree.
Oh.
I think they're doing Danhausen right. I will say the little people, not my number one choice for the partner. I'm not gonna lie. I actually wanted him to have a real partner, and I was again,
true.
No, I wanted somebody, and you know what? Like Brian brought it up. I thought it was gonna be CM Punk because I know CM Punk.
Yeah.
One, advocated for him to come in. Two, is also really good friends with him.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I could easily see Punk putting on the makeup and just getting a pop or a laugh, and just it's against the Miz, and also Punk is not in any feud right now.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been a big surprise. I think people would have loved it.
You want to know who I would have loved this for be? And I wish he was healthy right now. Kevin Owens.
Even better. Even better. Exactly.
That would
So
have
I
probably
He
think
been.
and Truth have
I
been talking it up backstage to the point that Damian Priest is getting nervous. So, go figure.
yeah.
But
But
go ahead, Lewis.
see, I don't think Danhausen's getting exposed. I think he's actually getting. I think what Sonny said is right. I think he is a big fire right now. But if you think about it, he has been regulated. He's been regulated to only backstage segments. At
Yeah,
some
yeah.
point, he has to get in the ring. Yeah, maybe he. I think the tag team route is a better way to because, I mean, he can wrestle, but I think he could do more funnier bits and stuff with a partner to bounce off and build off of it. Maybe they didn't find the right person to actually do it with, but again, it's against the Miz. It's against Kit Wilson. I'm a Kit Wilson fan. I think he's doing great. I don't know if he'll get past this comedy bit now that he's just with the Miz. I hope he doesn't get sucked into that and just stays there because I think he could actually be a decent heel and maybe go after a mid card title at some point. But I
Yeah.
think they're doing Danhausen right. I think again he's top merch seller. He pops every time he's on a backstage segment. People love him. They have to put him in the ring at some point. Like if you think about it, he's been on since what? Elimination Chamber. So it's like
You
he hasn't
want
had
to
he
Is it
hasn't had
Brian?
any
Something
he
like
hasn't
that?
had any well he had one match at Mania, and
He's
then
had
this
3
is it.
fights,
Exactly. So it's like
3
you
and
want to
0.
know?
they
You want to know who
it's
his
not like
tag
it's a
team
weekly
partner
thing,
is?
you know?
You want to know who his tag team partner is? Well, let me make sure I say his name right. Hold on, I had it.
Oh god, there
Uh,
we go.
Johnny Gargano. That's his partner is. That's who his
Hey,
partner is.
it
Who
would
has
give
been
him
in a
something to
rut
do.
this whole time.
Yeah, but they
Candice LeRae has
also
been trying to buck him up. He's been on NXT. He lost the Gold Rush match, I believe, in NXT and stuff like that. It just makes too much sense for me at this point in time for Danhausen.
Johnny needs to follow Ciampa's route and go to
And
AEW.
leave, yeah.
Yes,
Already,
but
yeah, I already said he's literally just
Ciampa's no joke.
up.
Yeah, but it's time. It's time.
yeah,
But let's keep
yeah.
moving on here. To a sentimental match. Iyo Sky versus Asuka. I have a lot to say about this match, but I'll start with you, Sonny. What did you think about this match between Asuka and Iyo Sky? Iyo Sky picking up the win in this feud between the two, if you want to call it that. What did you think about the match?
I thought it was great for Iyo Sky. I thought it was nice to see their little emotional standoff tribute to one another, but I think it's horrible in the sense of the word that we're departing on another unfinished story and we'll never see, at least not for a while. There you go. The ending of the story to the whole shoot match of this thing. Where is Carrie? Nobody's able to answer that question fully. Why is Asuka leaving? Nobody's answering that question either. Did she not get her contract renewed? Was she among the 22 that got kicked out, or is she just protested? Nobody's really told why her bags are packed that I know of, and I saw the whole show, and I was on the edge of my seat waiting for more to come, and nothing else ever came about it other than she's gone. And if you're going to take my time for months in and months out and tell these long-winded tales, finish them. That's all I'm saying. Finish the stories. Don't leave us hanging on the edge of our seats like we are now, literally on these cliffhangers. Finish the damn stories and tell it. Let Randy Owens win the 15th world title and get on with it and get back to the business of wrestling being wrestling. Uh, we're losing seats at these shows because fans are protesting, in my eyesight, at these long-winded stories. Am I right or wrong, Dan?
I think
That
it's
the
the
ticket price.
payoff. I think it's the payoff. Like I think we're not getting the payoff to these stories, or at least the stories that should be told are not being told, even when the characters are involved. I think that's the problem. But what did you guys think about the match? Let's go to Lewis.
I
Lewis, what
like
did you
the
think?
match was fantastic.
Yep. What did you think about it, Lewis?
I thought it was a
Sorry.
great match. I thought it
No,
was
you
a
good.
great match. Just great chemistry between the two. Hard hitting. I love the spot with the mist and the notepad. Iyo finally countering that and being able to overcome that.
Somebody countered it.
So simple. You some shit up.
Yeah,
That's how you block. That's how you beat.
exactly. I thought it was a great match. At the very end, I'm not gonna lie. There's a smallest part of me that thought that she was still gonna be heel and attack her after like the hug and everything. But when she walked out, I was like, oh man, I was like, is this really farewell? Is this really it for her? Another person retiring and not even saying they're retiring. I've watched Asuka's entire run from NXT. I think we all have, from NXT to now. She's amazing. She's has one of the greatest like move sets and skills and the way she moves and flair and everything. And she's someone who definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. But again, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff going on about why she's leaving. Not leaving, but why she's going away. I've seen a lot of stuff attributed to just like personal stuff. Maybe it's like family. You never know. Somebody could be sick or whatever it is. We don't really know what's going on in these people's lives. But it seems like she's going back to Japan for a bit. We don't know how long. So, I mean, if it is something that was abrupt and they just kind of had to, because I mean, yes, there was the story with Kyrie, but it wasn't necessarily a really super long. Like they had their feud, and then with Rhea and Iyo, and then that just kind of came to a halt. And then after the whole Kyrie thing, they just kind of, all right, well, let's just go back to this, and then who knows what was really going on with Asuka. So it was just been very wishy washy.
Well, we could tell better tell that the creatives are doing.
Yeah, but I just felt like
Get more people at the shows.
I just felt like they had a great showing out, and it was great just to see Asuka, just kind of hug her and just show appreciation. And then even when she said on Raw, I was just like, you've surpassed me. Like you are everything that I want the next person to be. So I thought it was great.
Thoughts, Brian?
I mean, let's just be honest. These two women went out there and had the women's match of the year so far, in my opinion. There's nothing I've seen as far as the women go in WWE, AEW, or any other promotion this year so far that topped what those two women did. It was almost like they took the fact that they were left off of WrestleMania as an insult and they wanted to shove it back in creative's face. Because I'm telling you right now, if this match had been on night one of WrestleMania, this match would have saved night one of WrestleMania. Yeah. And we wouldn't be shitting on night one as much as we are now. Because that's how tremendous it was. I mean, you saw their chemistry. You saw the story that they were trying to tell. Lewis, you mentioned it. The very simple spot of holding up that notepad to block the mist, kind of showing that student teacher dynamic because Iyo is the only one that's been able to figure that out. I love that. I love that aspect of it. And there was a part of me at first too, Lewis, that thought that when the match was over, that she was going to attack Iyo to kind of reset the feud. Now that Kyrie Sane is gone, unfortunately, I thought they were going to go in that direction. But if this is indeed Asuka's last run, regardless, that she is tremendous. She's awesome. I mean, from her days in NXT, I mean, she's the only person in NXT to retire undefeated. Still, retired undefeated. Had that she's had a tremendous run on the main roster, tremendous matches, tremendous gimmicks. When she came back at the I think it was the Rumble one year, and she had the face paint, and she was going in the direction of her character in Japan. I thought that was a tremendous character change for her, and just took her to a whole nother level, which is kind of impossible considering the level that Asuka is on as a competitor. So. We wish her the best. Definitely would suck if she was retiring. I really do hope it is just to take some time off, take some time away, come back stronger, better than ever. But this match that they had, I really do think is the women's match of the year so far. That nothing that women have done across, and there've been a lot of great women's matches so far this year, but nothing to the level of what I saw between Iyo and Asuka.
This match, the one thing I said, I hope they give them time. Whatever this is, I hope they gave them time. They gave them 20 minutes to tell this story between these two women who have history all the way back to Japan. They were a tag team together. They were in a trios match, team. I forgot what it's called, but they were in the trios team back in Japan. Asuka's been a trailblazer. Io's been a trailblazer. I thought this match was tremendous. Just great technical wrestling. And I think I made a reaction video to this. As Brian said, if this was on WrestleMania, either night one or night two, it outshines every women's match, and even some men's matches on that card. Like, this is probably why they kind of kept them off the card, honestly, because this was a great match with not much build. Like, I know there's history and stuff like that. They've been tugging warring over the past, but they really haven't leaned into this story between these two until the promo package, right? Like that's the disservice I think that they did to both of these women, because the fact that they can go out there with lack of build and put on a banger of a match that probably stole the show, like
ease.
No interference, no smalls, no extra, like just two women going at it and putting on a banger of a matchup. And I think that's the thing that pisses me off the most about it, because it's like, if we knew Asuka can go like this, why? Even though I know she's done great things, she's a 4-time champion, I believe. She's won the Money in the Bank, the Elimination Chamber, the Royal Rumble. She's done tremendous things, tag team champion, all this stuff. It's like, if you knew this was going to be her last match for a while, why couldn't you tell a compelling story? Why couldn't the booking be better heading into this to showcase these two women? We know Iyo Sky is awesome. We already know that. But the fact that there hasn't been a light shined on Asuka to this degree, where it was kind of just an afterthought, I think that's a disservice to both of them, actually, because as somebody, as we've seen, for Asuka to be as legendary as she is, about, of course, the NXT run, about being undefeated, coming up to the main roster, her match with Charlotte, her matches up on, I think about the triple threat match at SummerSlam with Bianca Belair and Charlotte. Like, she's done so much. And the fact that to just treat it like an afterthought, like, okay, well, this is what we have for you. And for those two women to go out to them, kudos to them. Two of the best in the world, best of all time between those two. Asuka has been
on there now. Different shows.
Asuka has been one of my favorite women's wrestlers. I talk about her here all the time, about just her, especially when you talked about Brian, when she came back at the Royal Rumble. I was happy as hell when she came back. I just think she's awesome. And whatever happens next, I know they did the thing on Raw where she said she was proud of proud of Iyo, and that she's grown into everything that she wanted her to be and stuff like that. That was sweet. That was awesome and stuff like that. So if this is the send-off, I was kind of thinking, because they did show a picture of like all her mask in the suitcase and stuff like that, and some of her gear and stuff like that. I was wondering if this was going to be,
I missed that.
if there was going to be a time away where she takes time away and then comes back as a new character or something like that, or a new era of her character or something like that. But whatever the case may be, she's just awesome. She's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Yeah. Her style, her quirkiness, she's been able to be funny. She's been able to be a great babyface. I love her heel work. I wish they tapped into that more. If this is the end for her at this point in time, I hope it's not. I think she's like 44, 45 up there.
Yeah, 44.
So it's like, how much time does she have left at this point? But I'm hoping that she makes a return at some point, either to help Iyo Sky in the feud or something like that, or to get revenge or something like. This was an amazing matchup between two women at their best, and that's the thing that pisses me off. If we knew these women can put on a 20-minute match like this, why didn't we get more to this story? Why didn't we get more in this feud? But kudos to Asuka and Iyo putting on a tremendous matchup. We'll see what's next for them. We can get into Raw at this point. Iyo Sky did take on Sol Ruka in the matchup. Go ahead, Brian. Did you have something?
No, I'm sorry to interrupt, but there was one more aspect of Backlash that we didn't cover.
Yes.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that. John Cena, his big announcement.
Woo.
Basically, what is this? The John Cena Classic?
The John Cena
I
Classic.
guess it's overtaking the Dusty Rhodes Classic. But this is John Cena came out with an announcement that's going to be kind of like, to me, it felt like Cyber Sunday, where the fans have interaction within who gets to win and stuff like that. I know it's going to be matchups between the main event roster and NXT, so there's going to be a jumble of that. They kind of did that with the John Cena showcase, his last match against Gunther that night, where they had the NXT people come up and face, the younger stars come up and face the main event guys. It looks like they're tapping into that success, like the reaction from that, and making it a thing. They're still developing the kinks of this thing, but what did you guys think about this actually becoming something in this announcement? I'm just going to say this. I'm glad it wasn't the WWE Club thing. I'm glad it wasn't that, because that would have pissed me off. Like, don't tell me about that. Tell me about something new, and they did that. And apparently there's going to be a new title. What do you guys make of this one? Let's go with Brian. Let's go with this one.
All right. So at first, when after he made this announcement, my first thinking was, "Damn, why couldn't you have done this last year when NXT's talent pool? You know, you had Trick, Oba, Ricky Saints, Joe Hendry, all those guys down there. Like that would have been perfect. Just imagine the matchups then. That's how I thought about it at first. But then our fellow contributor Ryan, we need to get him back on here. He kind of gave me kind of commented on it, and he kind of made me change my thinking. He said that's the exact reason why they should do it right now, because NXT is literally in the middle of a rebuild with their roster. So those guys would kill to have that kind of exposure going up against these guys on the main roster. And it's true. I watched NXT last night. They literally are going through a complete rebuild right now. Their top guy in their men's division is Tony D'Angelo, which is somebody that we've had mixed feelings about on this show. He's their top guy right now, and everybody else is pretty much just a bunch of guys that either have international prominence like Evil, what's his name now, Naraku, or
Evil,
or Mason Rook. Who I'm gonna say this right now. I feel like they're gonna do with him what they did with Kevin Owens when he debuted in NXT. Yeah. For those who don't remember, Kevin Owens won the NXT title within a month of being in NXT when he was down there. I think they're gonna do the exact same thing with him, because he's literally a more athletic Bronson Reed, another Keith Lee, and he actually cut a promo last night that actually was very good. So watch out for that guy Mason Rook. But as an all. I really do like the concept. I always love it when NXT mixes it up with the main roster. All it does is just creates additional opportunities for the younger talent. It allows them to get better. Allows them to be seen on a bigger stage. Allows them to get over with the main audience that watches the main roster. So it's nothing but positive things that can come for it. And you can only hope that in the midst of this rebuild through NXT, that guys like Mason, like a Mason Rook and others can then eventually ascend, and the John Cena Classic will eventually accomplish that goal. So I like the concept.
Mm-hmm. Let's go with Sonny. Sonny, what did you think about the John Cena announcing this classic, this matchup between main event stars and NXT people, the fan interaction in it? What did you think about it?
Well, I like it. I think NXT is going through a turning point in their era that they find themselves in, and I think it's time to do a different mix there to keep it more interesting to the viewers. I'm surprised when I post on X different aspects of NXT throughout the week, guys, about NXT recall matches or point out NXT star people. Apparently, not a lot of wrestling fans keep up with NXT, and that's a shame, because that's tomorrow's talent today, and that's the way I talk about them. anytime you have the kind of talent that they bring in down there, and especially the way they're going about it now, it's an awesome thing. We didn't have that back in my day. In my day, you played the house shows, and you got hoped to be picked up by the show, which was the WWF. You hoped to retire at the show, which was the WWF. You didn't have all these intersecting leagues like TNA, New Japan, and ROH. ROH didn't come out till around 2000 or so. So, I mean, it's not always been there. And you didn't have everyone crossing over saying, hey, why don't we come over and visit? It just didn't work that way. You went to work for a company and you became the flagship of that company, and that was it. So I think it's great that the fans are finally going to be forced to take a look at NXT and what they have going on down there. And it's just a great golden day era for NXT's talent to get main roster exposure. That's something that I'm doing in my career in rebranding myself, is trying to get main stream exposure. So I kind of understand what the NXT guys are going through, and women, when they say more is better, more is better. So can you imagine what the winner of the title is going to be going through when they win the title that big against somebody well known in the main event, if that's how it goes down? So that's just going to be freaking huge. And they've got stars right now, Brian, the newest down there, ready to go to the main roster. So, I mean, these are guys that they pulled in and hadn't even told the whole story to. So, they've got to stay on top of the game down there to keep NXT alive and flowing. And I'm sure they're going to do that, because H actually said more than once, he had all these guys calling him, wanting in, and had nowhere to put them, and now he has somewhere to put them.
Yes,
but I think it's a great day for NXT. It's a great day for the fans. John Cena is certainly a worthy enough guy to have his face on the title and to be remembered that way. So we're lucky to have him around still in the aspect of he'll be championing the ceremonies and the matches as they unfold in the event. So it'll be a plus for WWE. We need some new faces. I think that's another reason attendance is falling off. And you have to talk about attendance, ticket prices, and stories that don't go anywhere. So, where did it go?
Thoughts on this one, Lewis?
I'm excited for it. I think it's great to give NXT talent more exposure. The only thing I'm just iffy about is the whole voting thing that he was talking about. I'm like, I don't know why we're changing the format. Like, you're gonna have a tournament.
Well, that's a little bit like back in my time.
You can still become
Be
the
the
winner
champion.
just because of fame. Yeah, I just hope that isn't take away. Like, if we already know how things go in wrestling, but it's like, I guess more so maybe I hope it'll be more like kind of like how the Cruiserweight Classic was, where like you'd have like banger matches, and if like the Cedric Alexander, like losing, or I forget if he won or not, but I remember him having a great match, and everybody was like, sign him, sign him, sign him. And I hope it's more like that, but not like, oh,
you want to know what
like
this is? You want to know what this is? This is WWE's answer to the G1 Climax in New Japan and the Continental Classic in AEW. Where you can lose a match, they're putting it in the fans' hands. Where if you have a tremendous showing, kind of like what you were talking about with Cedric Alexander, and I think Rockstar Spud did it as well, where it's like, sign these guys. Like, I think that's where they're trying to get it into. But yeah, go ahead, Lewis. Finish your thoughts. Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
No, and I see that, but they need to be clear cut on how this is going to work. Because if it's some whole thing like, oh, this person won the tournament, but somebody who lost is going to be the champion, like that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, we need winners and losers.
Exactly. This can't be some wishy-washy like, oh, this guy won, he's your champ, but this is the real champ. Like,
Mm-hmm.
come on now, And
Yeah.
I hope it's a title that looks good. I hope it's not something that literally just has John Cena's face on it. Let's make a good title, something that looks looks prestigious. I'm always excited for new titles, so I hope it's something that looks great. And I mean, yeah, I'm excited to see what it's gonna bring and what it's gonna do.
This is my thoughts about it. I think it's a good idea. I think I've read reports where they're still working out the kinks of it and trying to figure out the details of it.
Yeah,
And that's fine and stuff like that. I get the whole voting, you get fans interacted into it and stuff like that. This is where they need to change it. The John Cena Classic, I think they should change it to a TV title or something that's going to be defended every week. And then that way, the champion, whoever wins, is going to be a person that defends that title every week. Because we don't get Intercontinental title matches all the time. We don't get United States title matches all the time. We don't even get the world title all the time. I think it's a way, if you want to get fans to get interacted into it, I think that you should do whatever the tournament happens. This is just me thinking outside the box, but have
Yeah.
that person week to week do something like a fan interactive vote, like who is the champion going to face this week? And then you give them a list of people to pick from. And the
Yeah.
votes happen on air, and then you can have branching storylines out of that, kind of similar to how Edge didn't get picked at Taboo Tuesday.
Have the
And then
fan be the creative.
he left Chris Benoit in a tag team match, and then went hell bent after Shawn Michaels and stuff like that. I think there's some branching storylines that you can even do that with the fan voting of who's popular, who's not at XYZ,
yeah,
and give other people an opportunity. It might not be the same people week to week, right? Like it's these four wrestlers this week, it's these four wrestlers this week. Change it up, keep it fresh, and maybe that's how you get more people on maybe even people to check out NXT or check out these other shows and be like, hey, let's check
Yeah.
out this guy. Let's vote for him this week. I think there's a way that they can actually branch off and do something with this. It's just if they decide to do it. I don't know what this is going to be. I don't think they can entirely know what it's going to be, but it's going to be interesting to see what the developments of the John Cena Classic are. And interested to see who's going to be in it. And another thing I think about it is that it's like, this speaks to the strength of your roster, right? Because you want people to go watch LFG, you want people to watch Evolve, you want people to watch NXT. That's supposed to be showcasing the stars to tomorrow, and now you have to make this classic type thing to get to interaction and get people to watch these other stars. So it's like, I get the gist of it where it can be good, but I can also see where it's actually showing WWE's weakness in the sense of what they need to do to get people to watch NXT or get people to watch Evolve or LFG and stuff like that, due to them calling up this talent like the Ricky Saints and the Ethan Pages of the world and stuff like that. So definitely going to see how this develops and goes forward with the John Cena Classic. That was it for Backlash. Let's get into Raw. I don't know too much about too many noteworthy moments besides Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns on this one. I know they have their interaction. It looks like Jacob is just going to tear through and go after Roman again. They ended the show with that kind of cementing this is the feud that's going to be happening going forward. He attacked the Usos, so it looks like that's where I kind of said I think they're going to get involved at some point. Other stuff to happen. We had Asuka send off with Iyo Sky and basically giving her kind of like passing the torch to her. And then we had Iyo Sky versus Sol Ruka, which I thought was a good match. Trying to think of anything else there. Obviously, we got Seth Rollins costing. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Since you just brought up that match, you brought up something very interesting in the chat. Now you feel that Sol Ruka needs to retire the Soul Snatcher. Please explain.
no,
Yes. Again, I just don't like the setup of it. I don't think it's good. Like, she needs to change how she sets it up. She doesn't need, like, if she kicked the person in the gut and then ran to the middle rope or bounced off and did it that way, maybe that would change it up for me. But the fact that it's always in the corner and she's botched it multiple times, they even showing that they even
she didn't botch it in the match though.
she did. It wasn't.
No,
I
she
think
she
it was,
reversed it. So she even said it. So she went for it. Iyo
No.
was-
I'm not
and
saying
then-
this match. I understand that, but
Oh.
I'm saying that like they're
Yeah,
showcasing
with the Becky
they're
thing,
showcasing that weakness for her.
Yeah.
Whereas it was being highlighted on NXT and stuff like that. I think she botched it in NXT one time. But ultimately, it's just like, I just can't get into it. I understand it's a cutter. It's a different way. We see the OG cutter. Javon Evans uses it. Cody uses it. Randy Orton uses the RKO. It's like, it's kind of like the moonsault for me for Iyo Sky. Like, how many people are going to use the moonsault? Tiffany Stratton,
Flair does it all the
Charlotte
time.
Flair. Like, this
Right?
is where it's like she's talented, and I think she's awesome. But I think
True.
this is where it's like she needs to find a way to do something else, like the DDT that she did on Iyo, that reversal off the rope and stuff like that. That DDT in the corner.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do something like that, or do something
Yeah,
like
kind of move that's never been done.
I think I said in the chat that she should do like the Spike Dudley run in the corner tornado and just make that a cutter. I think that would be awesome. But it's just like I know everybody loves that move because it's definitely awesome. It looks cool. But just when you watch it enough, for me at least, it's just like
No,
I think there's something else that she can do with it. Maybe there's just a different way that she needs to do it. I'm just like the whole corner and the corner thing. I'm not. I don't know. I'm trying to think of anything else that happened. The Vision and the Street Profits seem to be getting a thing. They're going to be having a match at Saturday night's main event. So happy to see that.
Maxine joining the Vision.
Maxine, yeah, she's in the car. She's on the way.
She's been there like every week.
She's in the way. I think she helps them retain. I think that's what they do.
Yeah, they also announced for Saturday night's main event that Penta is going to be defending the IC title against Ethan Page, I believe.
Yep.
So,
It's funny because we got Javon Evans defeated Rusev. I wanted to point that out as well. Ethan Page and Rusev seem to have this kind of, I don't want to call it a bromance or anything like that, but it seems like it's a begrudging partnership, I guess. I don't know what it is. And we've seen Ethan Page be this manipulative guy in TNA and in NXT and stuff like that. So it's now just coming to the main roster. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. But he's getting an Intercontinental title match. And again, this is what they should be using Saturday night's main event for. I've said this before, and it looks like they're finally at least touching it, putting the mid-card titles on there. I mean, none of these titles were on Backlash. So for the fact that they're getting on Saturday night's main event, which is 2 weeks from away now, I like that. I like that they're putting that together. So kudos to them. I'm trying to think of anything else that happened on Raw. I can't. Again, this Monday Night Raw was kind of just copy and paste or just watching paint dry until Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns for me. Iyo Sky and Sol Ruka was a good match, but outside of that, I really don't think anything tremendous happened on Monday Night Raw. And hopefully WWE picks it back up. Again, I don't know when SmackDown's going to go back to 2 hours, but WWE creative got to pick it up. Backlash as a PLE was pretty good. I'm not going to say maybe Danhausen was the low light of it and stuff like that, but outside of that, it was a pretty solid matchup card. Better than anything they've been doing week to week, in my opinion. So there's at least that with the Backlash review and stuff like that. I can't think of anything else. Raw was kind of just cut and dry to me. It looks like they're just trying to get to Italy, which is at the end of the month and stuff like that. So, I think that's going to be it for this show. I don't think anything else is there. We're going to pick it up next week, continuing looking at Raw, maybe changing up some things here. But we're going to be picking it back up. Go ahead, Brian.
Sorry to interrupt again. I just want to say one thing. Since we're talking about next week's show.
Mm-hmm.
So next Sunday is AEW Double or Nothing. Yeah,
damn it.
So next week we're definitely going to be reviewing that show, and it's kind of crazy. You got Double or Nothing next Sunday, and I think the following Saturday, that's when Saturday night's main event is, and then 2 weeks after that, it's Clash.
Saturday night's main event is Saturday. Is that Saturday?
Is that Saturday before Double or Nothing?
Yes.
Right, so it's back, and then 2 weeks later is then Clash in Italy. Like so much. Oh my shit.
God. They're doing it again. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the card. Is there a hair versus title match? Darby Allin for. We'll get into it. Get into it.
Yes,
you gotta be kidding me.
Okay. We'll talk about that next week because I got some shit to say about that too.
That'll be good.
Why'd you do it, Brian? Why'd you do it? I was just trying to end the show. And
Now there's anticipation to watch it. 149.
oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But as always, thank you again for joining us, Sonny. As always, Brian, Lewis. We'll pick it up next week. Trying to think. This will be it. This will be it, folks. Thank you. Thank you for showing out. Thank you for joining us. Always kick that on too. Until next time. Thank you.